We are live.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Smuggler's Blues, a redemption story. You may be familiar with the three people on screen here. I am Michael. I'll be playing the role of Tazi. We will have Karrell, being played by Kaylee. And then we have our illustrious GM, who also plays the characters of A1 and D4, Chris. Chris, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Well, I am excited to get going with our first live stream. So we open up, we see a ship coming out of hyperspace. It's a beat up, kind of silver colored ship. It's got three long main sections connected by a little bridge in the back. And the front, the main section sticks out a little further. That's where you can see the cockpit windows. As we follow our view into the cockpit, we see sitting in the pilot's chair, we see a blue Duros hyperspace. Next to him is a beat up white with yellow highlights astromech droid. So they are piloting down towards the planet. We see the control panel. What looks like it's a fairly up-to-date control panel, but it's not quite as clean and organized or in as good a shape as it was when we first started, or when it first got put in. You see the pilot looks rather calm as he's heading down to the planet. The droid looks over. Everything seems to be going good, Captain.
It feels weird for you to call me Captain again. I'll be perfectly honest. It's been, I don't know.
It's been a year.
I got used to not being the captain. You know, being the captain, then not being the captain, and now I'm the captain again. I'm still not used to it.
I mean, it's been a year. Maybe you should just get over it and accept the fact you're the captain.
Hey, look, some things take time, okay? Some things just take time. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. This will be great. Except for, the condition of the ship and our supplies and our lack of credits. Everything is great. Everything's great.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll find something useful down here on TETH.
Well, I mean, we got the appointment, right? We got to talk. I mean, we're going to see somebody about the possible workspace. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is your thing. You made it.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm a little excited about it. I'm also a little, what's the best word I can use for it? I'm a little hesitant. It's a little pricier than maybe we should be going for. I mean, it's an old castle. I mean, it's a bit opulent, right? It's a bit pretentious, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I think we deserve it. I mean,
it's it's the only thing in our price range with a landing pad. So,
well, there's that too.
All right. Well, let's get ready to land. Or this is can you pull up the spaceport for me? Yeah, anyone?
All right, we'll do. And we see the droid spinning up the computer. He broadcasts a little image up there to the captain, showing him exactly where to land. And there's a little red light that starts blinking on the panel. The droid, we see his dome slowly turn and look at the captain. Thought Karrell fixed that.
Fixed what?
The landing gear.
What do you mean?
Well, it says it's not working.
Tazi flips over to turns his seat slightly to one of the side screens and scrolls down a little feed, and there is a little blinking light. He hits a button, and then there's a little diagram of the ship, and you can see that the rear landing gear doesn't appear to be engaging. Karrell!
Hold on a minute. I'll be right. From the back comes a short Twi'lek dressed in kind of brown overalls. She's kind of got different smudges of hydraulic grease. Her attire screams mechanic, not the Jedi that she actually is. And she comes up to the room and kind of leans on Tazi's chair and looks at the screen. Kark, I fixed that. I fixed that when we left the last station. It was fine. Remember? We were on all of our landing gear. Then they all came back up. I don't know what happened. Okay. We don't have any spare parts for it. But we got to figure out a way to land without, falling over.
How about, is there any way you can manually engage the landing gear?
Not from
You're
in
the
here.
chief engineer. You're the chief engineer. You don't have any way to do this.
Well, I mean, I could put, if we hadn't sold the spacesuits, I could go outside and, possibly bang it a little bit.
We needed the fuel.
Well, we also needed to be able to eat, but that's neither here nor there. The problem is we need to go outside, and there's only one of us in this small little room well, there's two of us on the ship, but there's only one of us here that has the technical expertise to go and fix it. And Karrell turns and looks at A1.
What do you say, little buddy?
She's right. There is one person here that could go out there and fix it.
I think I was very gently suggesting that this would be a good time for you to volunteer yourself.
Just waiting for orders.
From who?
Chain of command. We talked about this last week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my gosh. There's only 3 of us, you guys.
I know.
There's only 3 of us. I mean, we're all kind of have an equal share in the ship. We all have an equal share in what's going on.
I mean, we did vote you captain.
I know I'm the captain, but I get that. But at the same time, A1, you don't need my permission to go fix something. You don't need, Karrell's permission you'd kind of need because Karrell's chief engineer. But at the end of the day, let's not spend time arguing about it right now. How about you go down the ramp and get outside and fix the landing gear so we can land and not be late for this appointment. We cannot miss this appointment, you two.
All right.
A1, would you please go and repair the landing gear or at least deploy it so we can land safely?
Very well. See the astromech droid rolls down the hallway.
Tazi, I really think that something happened there when we, merged Ship 1 and A1 back together because our A1 has never been that much of a stickler for chain of commander rules. But I guess also this has nothing to do with making money or cheating at something, so.
Well, the ship A1 and physical A1, did have quite different, ship A1 was under your command, and regular A1 kind of, I take no responsibility.
Well, that seems pretty normal, to be honest.
Hey.
What?
How about you go back to engineering and see what you can do to help A1 from inside?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry if I'm in the way of your captaining, Captain.
Well, no, you're not in the way, but there's more you can do back there than you can do up here, right?
Oh, I'm certain. Yes. Sorry to bother you,
right.
Captain.
All right. Yep. Not a problem. Not a bother. Happy to see you as always, Karrell.
And she salutes you very sarcastically and heads back to the back of the ship.
Excellent. Before we go on, we forgot to do something. We didn't roll.
Oh my God!
Destiny points.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Oh, this is good. 2 dark side.
Yay.
Great. 1 dark side.
All right, I got 1 light side, so 3 dark side, 1 light side.
Wonderful.
This seems like very normal.
So, back in the story, we watch the astromech droid as he heads out, pops down one of the droid hatches. We see him click his magnetic wheels on and rolls out to one of the landing gear and pulls out some tools in his little hands, and he's slowly works to manually get the landing gear to pop open. Just as the ship, the Crowlet's Fang, is starting to enter the atmosphere of TETH. TETH is a jungle planet. It's got kind of a purplish hue as the mix of the rocky ground and the tangled jungle create kind of this purple atmosphere. It's comfortable to breathe for everybody, so there's no issues there. Most of the trees here have serpentine trunks that twist as they head up, and they're covered in thick vines. It looks very kind of dark and a little foreboding, maybe a little gloomy, as there's this constant mist that covers the whole planet.
That doesn't feel foreboding at all.
No.
And is the landing gear engaged yet?
After a few minutes, yes, A1 gets the landing gear to pop up.
How does A1 do that?
Oh, he should probably make a mechanics check. Let's
Yeah,
make sure it
I
does
thought
work.
that's probably. Let's maybe a dice roll.
Using
for that would
mechanics
probably
for the
be good.
game that we're playing? That seems
Right?
crazy.
Yeah.
Dice rolls. What are we doing?
This is madness.
Madness, I tell you, madness.
I think it's madness, Billy.
Good news, everybody.
I gotta have some words with our friend over on Rook and Rasp. Our show going live didn't show up in the channel
Oh
announcements.
no!
Ugh.
No. Well, we'll have words.
No worries.
Yeah.
They'll
All right,
fix
so
it. They're great.
with 3 successes and 2 advantages, A1 does get the landing gear up. There's no issues with it. He pops back in through one
Wait,
of
gets
the...
the landing gear up or gets it down? Because we kind of need it down.
I mean, the
Yeah,
up
yeah.
part was already
He
taken
gets
care
to go
of.
First, yeah, he got it up, then he got it down. So it's in the spot where it's supposed to be now. And he pops back in through one of the droid hatches. And we hear Karrell, you hear a tapping sound from the floor, not too far from engineering.
I will go investigate.
The droid hatch opened from the outside, but not from the inside. So A1 is currently stuck in between.
He's like stuck in the bulkhead.
Yeah.
Karrell reaches under a belt and pulls up a comm. Is like, A1, is that you down there?
Ooh, I'm going to flip over dark side point. As you hear, and then static.
Where's
And then more tapping.
where's A1?
Well, it could be him down there, but it also could be some sort of weird space creature coming into... I mean, who would
guys
come
are
to
only-
try and take us over? I mean, we don't really have anything.
You guys are hearing fragments of each other's sentence, and then it goes to static.
But it
Wait,
could be... thing. Wait,
What?
no, you go
Breaking-
first. The
Tazi keys off the comm and turns over his shoulder. Karrell, what is wrong with the comms?
I don't know. They're on the fritz, and I think A1 is stuck between the floors. Give me a minute. I'll open the hatch.
Okay. Make a hard mechanics check.
Mechanics. Okay, 1 second. I gotta find my character sheet over here.
Oh, this poor ship.
We've run out of money. We had to sell certain things. I haven't played this game in 4 months. I don't remember how to do these things. Heart is 3 purple. Well, I have failed with an advantage. So Karrell opens up a panel on the floor next to the hatch and starts tinkering around with it. And there's this smell of ozone and a large spark. And I think I managed to get the comm system working, but the hatch, the outdoor hatch opens, not the indoor.
Because some more tapping and some banging.
Kark, I'm going to try and open it manually. There's got to be like a little, like a wheel or something like that. And manual override.
All right. Let's say, just make another mechanics check. Or if you want to hotwire it, you could use computers.
Yeah, I'm going to use mechanics. Thanks.
What's going on back there?
Oh, nothing. Everything is fine. Please just continue captaining in your normal captaining way.
Is the door not sealing? I'm seeing another warning light coming up here.
Oh, it's absolutely fine. There is nothing at all to worry about. And with a wrench of, and a sound of kind of tearing steel and 4 successes and 2 threats, Karrell will like lever the hatch open.
Perfect. There's a huge rush of air coming out. As you realize that the outer hatch is still open.
I will, we see
a droid in there with 2 little hands sticking out, pressing against the wall. He's got 1 foot kind of turned sideways. You can hear that the magnetic is clicked in. What are you doing? This isn't funny. I said I'm sorry. I didn't mean to gamble that last. Look,
I used. Go ahead.
I mean, yes, I gambled the pot away, but I thought I could win. He was cheating.
Sorry,
it was your entertainment system.
Karrell reaches out with the force and yanks A1 up into the area, into the living area, and then slams the door and dogs it again.
And A1 slowly starts to rise up. Thank you.
Okay, so why were you not able to close the outer door?
I had it closed. Then when I tapped, because the upper one wasn't opening, the lower one opened again. So did you?
Why didn't you tap it and close it again?
I was holding myself in place so I didn't, get sucked out.
Why didn't you use your little magnet feety things?
I did to hold myself in place.
Okay.
Look, I wasn't expecting the thing to fall out from underneath me.
All right. Put it on the list of things that we need to repair. Because
you two, we're kind of coming in hot, so
why are we coming in hot? Everything should be fine except for the outer door being open and this one being a little bented.
Don't we?
The thrusters are a little bit stuck.
Oh, Kirk and Karrell runs for the back to the engineering space.
Come on, baby, come on. And you see Tazi kind of leaning forward, and it looks like he's trying to gingerly tap the throttle back. Come on, girl, come on. Don't do this to me.
As Tazi's doing that, you feel 2 hands on your shoulder, some light massaging.
I have faith.
D4.
Captain.
D4, yes. Not now. This is not a good time for this.
But you are tense. You need to relax.
Yes, I agree that I need to relax, but now is not the good time. Please, D4, stop right now. Maybe later. Maybe later.
As you look up, there's a medical droid that was massaging Taji's shoulders with 2 lower hands. Above that, you have 2 more hands that he seemed to be motioning, trying to do some calming motions above him. And the medical droid just turns and walks back towards the back.
No, don't go anywhere. I need you to stand over there where A1 would normally stand. I need you to watch the comm panel. We're gonna get a call from the spaceport, I'm sure.
Very well, Captain. Right over here.
And he walks over where A1 normally stands.
Yep, just right over there, and just wait for the comm panel to light up.
And he stands there looking down at the panel, waiting for something to change.
Karrell, how are we doing?
Well, I'm trying to get the engines calmed down. What are you doing up there? It says the throttle's at 100%.
I'm feathering. You told me to feather. I'm feathering the throttle.
Are you using a lead weight? Because honestly, 100 doesn't feel like feathering.
I turned it down. I pulled the throttle back. Is it still saying 100?
Yes, it's still saying it's saying 110 now. What did you just do?
Oh, Kark, I didn't do anything.
You hear footsteps, and then the Twi'lek from before runs up and like slams a fist down onto the control panel. And I would like to spend a light side point to have my percussive maintenance actually like give actual control of the throttle back to Tazi.
Perfect. Yep. Okay, and
Like she slams her fist into it, and like all the red lights stop, and it says 100% now.
Okay. Well, that seems to. You didn't use the thing, did you? You didn't use the thing.
What thing?
The Force. You didn't use the Force.
Just a little bit ago. Not on this.
Oh my gosh! You know you can't do that.
Yes, I can.
I mean, I know you have the ability to, but you can't do that. You never know.
Well, that's true. There could be like Inquisitors on the hull watching in case that there's a slight force emanation coming from this ship. That is true. I should be more aware of, those very, very spooky Inquisitors that like to ride around on ships through hyperspace.
Karrell, they can feel you at it. We talked about this. They can feel this stuff at a distance, right?
And so
There's a
can
range.
I.
Just
So I'll be able
next
to
time,
tell when they're nearby.
Just please.
Okay,
Please,
next time.
just be careful.
A1, next time Tazi says I have to let you get sucked out into the atmosphere and burn up.
That is not what I said.
I mean, that's what you said. You said don't use the Force, Karrell. And I used the Force to pull A1 up till he wouldn't fall to his death.
Look, just Karrell, do me a favor. Go back to engineering and buckle in. We're still coming in a little hot.
That's where I was.
This could be a hard landing.
Okay. And she turns and heads back towards engineering.
Tazi is going to make a piloting roll.
Perfect. Make a hard piloting roll. And since there's this mist going on, add a couple black dice. Because not only is it hard to see visibly, but there's also some atmospheric, the turbulence from the wind is also making it a little more difficult.
On the plus side, Tazi's a pretty skilled pilot, so I get to negate some black die.
Ooh.
All right, so it's 3 yellow, 3 green. And how many, what's the difficulty you said?
There's 3 purple. Seems like it's not really that difficult / hard of a challenge if you're
You say that,
dice versus
but
3.
this is my first dice roll of the new story, the new series, and historically this may not go well. Let's see what happens.
All of these things are true.
But that is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
However,
So that's 5 successes because of 1 threat, and I have 2 advantages.
Right. So we see
I think you see the Duro, you see Tazi, kind of like runs like his fingers over his forehead for a second, like he's wiping off sweat, even though he's not sweating. And then he starts to manipulate the control panel in front of him. He's again feathering the throttle down. You see him clicking a couple buttons on the console, and on one of the screens, it shows like a number of like flaps and a couple of retro rockets blowing, and the Krallet's Fang slows down significantly as it's approaching the starport.
Okay. Now, were you headed towards the starport, or were you going to land at the perspective castle that the crew is going to go look at?
I think.
therefore you are.
You know what? I think you're right, Chris. I'm willing to bet the appointment was probably just to land at the starport. Or sorry, no, that we're going to land at the starport and we're going to meet the prospective agent, the real estate agent, or the landlord, and they're going to take us out to the property.
Okay, fair enough. Works for me. So we see the Questar Z25 light freighter make its way through the purple clouds, and
I think as you see the ship come out of the clouds and kind of into like the overcast sky, the Krowlitz Fang has definitely seen better days. There's a lot of scarring on the hull. There are some plates missing. There is a noticeable lack of a cannon on the back end of the ship. There's a number of physical issues with the ship. There may be some smoke or something trailing off of one of the left engines as we come down. Yeah, Krowlitz Fang not in as good a shape as it used to be.
All right. And the ship makes a nice touchdown at the starport. We see the ramp slowly lowering, get stuck in place a little bit.
Oh, there's
Starts to
definitely a
lower
grinding.
again.
Yeah, there's like a whoa, 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 whoa.
And then you see like a pair of booted feet like jumping up and down on it, and then it slams to the ground and Karrell almost falls out of the ship.
There's some steam coming out of the sides.
A1, I thought you fixed the steam reclamation system. Where'd A1 go? Why am I talking to
A1
myself?
rolls up a second.
Ah!
A1 rolls up a second later. We see the astromech droid rolling up. Fix? I thought you said sell.
No! Why would I just... We have to get out of the ship. We have to be able to breathe. Why would we sell a piece of the reclamation system?
So what I'm hearing is that we need to add that to the list of things we need to fix.
Well, if he sold it, there's no fixing it. It has to be replaced.
Well, yeah, but okay, replacement, fine. Let's get into semantics about the things that we need to fix on the ship.
Replace.
Yep, replace.
So, like, if your hand gets blown off, we'll have to just fix it next time instead of replacing it.
Karrell, I don't know what crawled into your cereal this morning. Did you eat some? Is there a Dianoga on the ship I need to worry about?
Well, I didn't have any cereal because we didn't have enough money for cereal. We were eating the protein bars that were left over from before the ship got... You know what? It's neither here nor there. We're here now. This is our time to be professional and look at this questionable place to call home while we find a way to fix the ship and reprovision.
It's not questionable. It's inexpensive.
It's a castle that we can afford. That seems pretty questionable.
I mean, the ad said it was a fixer-upper. I'm assuming we'll have to put a little work into it, but that's okay.
Karrell goes over to the side of the door on board the ship, opens up one of the panel, pulls out like a gun belt with a few like pouches and, you know, the classic gun belt of Star Wars, ties the reinforcement under thigh, and then shrugs into a black trench coat over her normal wear. Okay, well, questionable or cheap or however you want to put it, I'm ready to go.
All right. What is Tazi wearing?
Ozzy is wearing one of his older flight suits. It's a little bit more threadbare. It's seen better days. But he does like shrug a jacket on, like kind of a very simple jacket over the flight suit to try and look a little bit more presentable. Strapped to his hip, he does have his two familiar old Dragon Eye hand cannons.
Nice. The ones that haven't been crushed.
We only one got crushed. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that one was replaced.
Yeah.
And then last off the ship, we see D4, the medical droid. He comes walking down the platform. He has this big cloak on with the hood up, this dark purple color, and he's got it drawn shut with his head kind of down. Walking very deliberately, with very kind of accenting, almost stomping his feet every time he steps.
Okay, I have many questions.
think this is his covert doctor outfit.
Ah, okay. That makes a lot more sense.
D4, are you going to try and earn some credits?
Perhaps. But first, we should secure lodging. Then, perhaps I could set up a mobile station here on base.
I mean, it's worked in the past. It works in a pinch. Yeah, all right. It's well, the agent should be around here at some point. I believe what was the name of
Well,
that agent?
he gave 2 names. Which one was it?
It was Mr. Woorock.
Woorock?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we could just go to the spaceport and look around. I'm sure they're here somewhere.
I'm sure they're out there. Maybe they got one of those signs, like, out there standing there waiting for us. Maybe there's a speeder out there.
This isn't Cantobite.
After a couple minutes, you guys are still working out things with the dock hands as they're hooking up all the umbilicals and taking care of the docking fees.
Some of the umbilicals
Tazi-
fall off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and Tazi actually kind of walks over. Hey, no! Don't refuel it. Don't touch it. We're not paying anything more than the dock fee right now.
One of the little droids just nods its head and hooks up just one umbilical.
Yeah, we're not paying for
skitters
that.
away.
We're not paying for that.
Tazi, that's the waste reclamation system. We actually make money off that.
Oh. Okay, well. Okay, then pay us for that.
Well, it offsets some of the docking fees.
Okay, well.
They take our waste and make fertilizer
I
off
don't-
of it.
You know I don't look at the receipts.
Oh, believe me, I know that sort of thing. Yes.
All right, can we stop the back and forth right for now? Let's try and present a unified front to this agent, okay?
Yes, sir, Captain, sir.
As you guys say that,
I like that, even though I know it's sarcastic.
as you guys say that, big, boxy, shiny, gold painted speeder comes up, and the windows are all tinted so you can't see in. It's very nice looking. It looks very polished and clean, and it comes up next to you guys, and then you see one of the back doors opens up, and stepping out, you guys see a kind of tall, that Triog, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, species. This is the 2-headed species. They have 2 heads and 4 arms, and they step out. Their skin is a very dark yellow color on the right. The left is just a little bit lighter yellow, but still very similar. The right head is a little bit more egg-shaped, and the left head is a little more pointy with its chin coming down. And they come out wearing a nice red vest over the top of a white shirt with poofy sleeves. They have a dark blue pants on that look like they might be made out of like a velvet type material, and tall black leather boots. And they walk up. And the right head. Hello. I am Braybuck Woorock. I assume you are the Kralit's Fang? Yes?
Well, yeah, this is the crew of the Kralit's Fang. I am Ensign Tazi. I've been the one you've been in contact with.
Real quick, we're using... I thought we were going to use fake names.
We're so bad at this. It's the first episode. We can't remember our aliases.
That may have been the case, but Tazi just absolutely blew that. So
Fair enough. I guess that was more a question of did Michael forget or did Tazi forget? So I guess
Michael forgot, but let's in this case say that Tazi also forgot.
Perfect. All right. Well,
This is. Apologies. No, this is the Krowitz Fang. I am. Hecklin Kazi. That's Hecklin Kazi. Sorry, that's who you've been in contact with. That other name is someone else I know. Sorry.
the right side. No worries. Reaches out the top hand on the right side. Shakes your hand.
I assume it's a pretty big hand.
Yep.
Tazi's
Yep,
got really small.
they're-
Tazi's got long fingers, small hands.
Yeah, they're pretty much as tall as Tazi, just wider. Tazi's pretty thin and lithe, where this particular person hasn't missed a meal.
So who is your friend here?
Oh, this is Toku. Introduce yourself, Toku.
Hey, two names. That's nice. I'm Toku. Toku. I'm the charming one of the two here. Toku, it's good to see you.
I am. My name is Quinth, and I am a mechanic of the highest degree, and I work here for Captain Kazi on a retainer. That is why I am here.
And this is our astromech droid, R5 D3.
The right head leans forward, kind of leans forward a little bit. Oh, very well, very well. Well, it looks like the crew is here, all four of you. Yes, yes. Shall we? Your castle awaits you. Come on.
Oh no. Well, we forgot. I forgot to introduce also the other droid, our cloaked friend here.
What
That's
cloak
Slicer.
friend? Ah, Slicer. He's very mysterious.
Yes.
P4 nods his head, and you see the cloak kind of falls a little further in front of his face.
Yes. Let's make our way to the property.
Very well, very well. Come on. He's clapping his hands together, and he opens up the door of the speeder, and it's big enough for all of you guys to fit into it, and it's kind of Star Wars version of a limousine.
Karrell will
So
hop
this
in.
is pretty fancy.
Yeah. One side is very plain, almost very organized, leather,
Like meticulous.
seats. Yeah, leather seats, black leather seats. It's got data pads sitting there. It's got some ports where there's screens that come up. It looks very well organized and businesslike.
Mm-hmm.
How does Toku have the other side designed?
There are a number of unidentifiable liquor bottles lining a two-tiered bar on the other side of the limo, of the recreational luxury vehicle. The seats look as though they are covered in what might be imitation wampa fur.
Imitation.
And, only the cheapest. Only the cheapest for our friends here. And I'd like to say that there are some like tasteful photos, like kind of like sitting in little platforms, and they are all of Toku with various celebrities.
Okay.
Is the other head like photoshopped out, or just like cut off at the edge of the frame, like it's behind the frame?
Upon close inspection, it looks as though Toku has been inserted into a number of these photos.
Ah. Oh, Toku, I did not know you knew Emperor Palpatine.
Oh yeah, the Emperor and I we shared a private flight once on Coruscant, a private speeder, going from one social event to the other, and Oh, we got along. We got along pretty well.
It definitely appears so.
You know, that whole galactic emperor and everything. You know, that's important.
He is doing well for himself, I hear.
Yeah, he owes me a favor. Well, I'm sure we'll get to it at some point. He's a very, very busy emperor, after all.
No, I mean, of course, an entire empire to run, you might say.
Entire empire, right?
Right.
There's some eye rolling happening from on the other head of Woe Rock.
The group of you, feel free to make use of the refreshments back there. There's a number of very rare and exotic liqueurs and beverages, and we also have some Dantunian water for those who don't partake.
Karrell, like, opens a bottle of that real quick and just sighs happily.
It's got a subtle flavor of moss with just a hint of some kind of unidentifiable citrus.
It's from the eastern Dantunian continent. Very good.
Yeah, you know your Dantunian water.
I've been there many a time.
That's interesting. No one's ever said that before.
Well, now you can't say that anymore.
And the divider window goes up.
And over on the other side, we see A1 slapping Tazi's hands with one of his little metal hands. Oh, just one at a time.
Hey, he said we could partake. Partaking.
Not the whole
We
bottles.
We don't have this stuff on the ship. We haven't had this stuff on the ship in forever.
I know, just one. Take.
Hey, you know what? There's enough. I can make a golden pod racer if you just leave me alone. There's enough here. I can kind of cobble it together.
Stop embarrassing us.
Embarrassing us.
Well,
Really?
Yeah. Well, you remember the casino when you were supposed to be watching my back? You fell into the fountain. And then they cheated.
Oh, that was a
and I
distraction.
lost.
That was a distraction technique, and you. I mean, it worked.
If your plan is for us to lose the money, then yes, it worked. Because they cheated me. Remember?
Look, not every plan works according to plan.
Well said.
Just let me have my drink.
Fine.
Just give me this one. Can you just give me this one thing?
All right.
I don't ask for a lot. Just give me this one thing.
All right.
For the moment.
Just one. And with that, the right head Braybox says, well, while you guys are doing that, let me tell you a little bit about the property. It was built roughly 120 years ago. It's right on a little mountaintop. It does have a nice little landing area. You guys are going to love that. It should fit your ship. You might have to do a little renovation around there, maybe a little gardening work, just to kind of make it a little more homey for yourselves, a little more comfortable with how your ship's going to land. Otherwise, entry doorway is from the original wood that was put up there. It is fabulous. It has so much character. You're going to love it. Then it is got that old kind of old school feel. So all the stones have, faded with time. The color is just beautiful.
All original fixtures, yeah?
Yes. All the wood in here is original. All the fixtures are original. All the wiring is original.
So wait, if I remember the listing, a lot of this stuff is all kind of High Republic era, right?
Yes, about 120 years ago.
Ish.
Yeah, the records were a little damaged during the war, so I'm just going on the estimates that people told me.
And the listing said fixer upper.
Well, I think it's just more about a little TLC, and it will be wonderful for you. We put some throw rugs down. We get some new furniture in there. Maybe change some lightings to get the mood a little better. And it will look great.
Wouldn't we also have to, rewire the entire place for, say, power?
Oh, there's power. Don't worry.
Safe
When the huts were
power?
looking at it, yes, when the huts were looking at it, they had power run up. But lucky for you, they chose to a different castle. They said it was a little more strategic and was a little easier to defend if any of their rivals were to ever come after them. But I'm sure you don't have to worry about that, right? There's nobody going after you, right?
Of course
You haven't
not.
upset the Black
No,
Sun
no.
or any of them.
No.
No,
We're
we
law-abiding
are-
citizens. We love doing things according to the law, and
Yep.
we don't deal with nefarious gangsters.
the Listen Kazi always follows the letter of the law.
Oh, very well, very well. Well, it won't take us long to get there. My speeder is very fast, and luckily we can just hop up in the air and zip right out there. My driver is excellent. So, do you have any questions about the place?
How many bedroom is it?
There are 8.
And how many baths? Excuse me.
Well,
How many
there are-
freshers?
There are 5 freshers.
Seems like a very good amount. Yes.
There is a lovely little dining area. It does have an old table in there, but I think it's old and tacky. So we'll just talk about getting rid of that, and we'll put something else in there that's a little nicer.
I mean, as long as it can hold things, it's probably fine at this point. And do you have any hollows of the place so that we can see while we're in flight? Or we could just sit here and
Yep.
fly in silence?
Sure. Yep. I made a nice little video for you. Here you go. And the screens pop up from the center, and it's the real estate style realtor comes up on the screen. It's Worak, both heads smiling, and it goes into the virtual tour of it. And I think we swipe over as the crew is on the ship, on the speeder. I almost said ship, heading out to the
I mean,
real
technically
estate.
it's a ship, right?
Yeah, kind of.
A vehicle?
Atmospheric craft?
Yeah. And you approach, and it's similar to how he explained it, where it's an older castle up on a small ridge. There is a nice little flat area out in front.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like there's some vegetation that's growing in there that might have to be removed or landed on, whichever you prefer.
It's overgrown, certainly, correct? Like, just in general,
Yeah.
like the property is
Mhm.
overgrown.
Yep. Yeah, when you look at the castle as you get closer, there's vines that are creeping up the walls. There's ivy that's crept up the walls. Different vegetation like that's there. There's some moss on there. Structurally from the outside, though, it looks fairly sturdy. You don't
Mhm.
see any gaping holes in the walls. The top where you have the edge meets the roof. A few spots where the roof is a little bent down, but nothing that can't be fixed easily. Looks like it's got a metal roof on here. And
Oh, it looks
pull
about
up
in
in
good of a
front.
shape as our ship does.
I mean,
We'll feel right at home.
yeah. I mean, I think we can definitely work with this, at least from the outside.
Well, can't wait to see what surprises await us on the inside.
If you're not really excited by this, you can take up the search.
I didn't say anything negative about it, did I, Captain Kazi?
No, you didn't, Quinth.
Well, we're just all one big happy crew here and just pleased as punch to get our feet on the ground.
Yes. Can't wait to tour this potential living area and new home.
Indeed.
Excellent. Well, shall we? And the doors of the speeder open up, and as you guys approach the front door, he wasn't kidding. It's definitely the original wood. Looks like there's some cracks in it. It's sitting sort of on one hinge. I have no idea why my hands are disappearing on my green screen. But
You've been murdering
Is
Smurfs.
the castle? Is this castle? Is it an intact castle, or is it kind of is it ruinous? somewhat.
Like I said, structurally it looks sound, so you don't see anything falling apart. Like nothing structurally is bad. It just looks like, from what you can see, the doors, the right side is off the hinge, so it's leaning out and kind of down. The other one looks like it's actually leaning in a little bit. They don't quite line up. And it definitely looks like the wood is a little dry rotted. Looks like it wasn't treated properly or just hasn't been maintained over the years.
I also imagine most of the metal fixtures have quite a lot of rust and patina. Patina is what they call that now, right?
Yeah.
It's got a patina on it.
Yes, yes. And some pitting and some rust. All of that.
Corrosion, yes.
Yeah. So, you know, Wolrock walks up there and opens the door, and you hear the creaking of the hinge as well as the grinding of the rust on the hinge. And it opens up. Yes, come on. Inside, please.
Karrell has a data pad out at this point, and she's taking notes.
All right.
Tazi's got it. Tazi's put his hands in the pocket of his jacket. Well, excuse me, one hand. In the other hand, he's carrying a glass from the limo.
Is there a bottle sticking out of his other pocket?
You want to make an observation check?
I certainly...
A perception check, I guess.
I would love to do that, honestly. Let's see, perception.
Did you try to hide that?
Oh, I mean, no. No, Tazi would have just left it like in the jacket pocket.
Average perception check then. So just 2 purple dice.
His hand is in that pocket, but
Well, good for me that all of my negative dice came up blank. So that's 3 successes and 2 advantages. Yeah.
clearly there is a slender liquor bottle. You can see the top and the cork sticking out of the pocket behind his hand, and he's clearly trying to cover the bottle with his hand.
Nice. All right. As you head in, the first thing you notice, the smell of the musty, dusty kind of atmosphere. It doesn't really appear like anybody's been in here a while, because you can see a few cobwebs up on some of the ceiling and fixtures. The floor has a nice light dusting on it.
Are there random small mammal tracks everywhere?
Yes, there's little animal footprints here and there. The air is a little cool feeling and just kind of dry. Come in. As you can see, it definitely has its own little personality. A little TLC, like I said. But as you can see, all of the stonework is still intact. So we have no structural damage here. These are the nice archways through the whole place. Every hallway has these nice archways. So for you, our tall friend, you won't have to worry about banging your head.
That'll be nice. That'll be
against
nice.
the wall as you walk, which I would hope you don't. But there are some stained glass windows throughout, but this is just the foyer, so let's continue. Which room would you guys like to see first?
Is there a main system controlling the house, power outlet and everything like that? So I can run a diagnostic on it?
Oh, yeah, for sure there is. There is what we normally call a furnace, well, what they used to call a furnace room, but now I think they just call it the heart of the building. So I'll take you there.
Right. Okay. We'll go there then. To the heart of the building. Through the
You guys
clogged
head there?
arteries. Yes.
Yeah. As you go through, it's all the furniture is either broken or extremely dusty or just extremely old and dry rotted. You're a little nervous of sitting in them, if it will hold your weight. As you get back into the heart of the building, as Brayback explained it, you open up, there's your fuse panel or breakers. It's all old stuff. Nothing's updated. The computer, Karrell, you go up and turn it on, and you wait, and you hear it spinning, but you just wait And you wait. And you wait. And eventually you see it starting to power up.
There's a Windows XP start tone.
Yeah. Yeah. You have mail.
Okay, well, yeah, this is definitely about 120 years old at this point. Okay, well, I'll just... This thing doesn't even have a wireless capability, so I'm going to have to, like, plug in and see what I can...
You're going to have to jack into this thing?
Well, yeah, and she pulls a cable out and attaches it to her data pad and then plugs it into the system.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a little antiquated. I'll just download a diagnostic and we can continue on the tour. In about 2.5 minutes.
Well, if you would like, Quinth, you could stay here and do that. I could continue the tour with, the captain and the rest of the crew, or if...
That's perfectly fine. You guys go on about your day, and I will see what there is to be seen. If that's okay with you, Captain.
Oh, yeah, no, sure. Stay here, like, check out the systems. Let's make sure everything's as working as it can be.
By your leave, Captain.
I mean, just take some good notes. I know you will. You're the best chief engineer I've ever had.
Thank you, sir. The last is said with no sarcasm. Detectable.
Braybach leads the rest of the crew to what looks like a dining room that's kind of in the center of the complex. Well, this is the dining room. There used to be a large table here that could seat, about 30 people. I believe the previous owners took that with them.
Mm-hmm.
But you could do lots of things in here. You could keep it as a dining room or maybe a training room.
Can we... Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rush, but can we maybe speed up the tour process? I mean, there's lots of things we can do. There's lots of rooms to see. I can tell it's a castle. So let's...
Well,
see.
I'll tell you what, Captain. Why don't we have the droids go do some photos and take some video, and you and I could talk a little bit about the lease and how things are going to go.
Yeah, that's great. You mentioned there'd be some kind of interview, so maybe we can get that out of the way.
All right, fair enough. And A1 kind of turns his dome, so I could just go wherever I want.
I mean,
yeah, feel free.
Yes, and Toku speaks up. Yes, little droid. Feel free, check the place out, top to bottom. And again, we stand by every property we sell, and you're gonna find this is a wonderful value for you and your crew.
A1's okay, and he takes off down one of the other hallways. See, D4 just turns and looks at Captain Kazi, just nods his head, kind of trying to keep that mysterious persona he's playing right now up, and he walks down a hallway in the opposite direction. And
Slicer doesn't talk much, but he's a good bot.
Yes. Well, it is handy to have a couple of good droids with you, especially if their skills are diverse. Even possible to have them make a few extra credits for you every now and then. So, but speaking of credits, we did talk about a price. Does that price match what you're looking for?
I mean, Tazi's going to make a negotiation roll. Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to make a negotiation check because Tazi would like to see if he can get it a little cheaper. So you tell me what my difficulty is, Chris.
All right. I'm looking because I forgot what negotiation is opposed by.
It's a presence skill.
Yep. All right, let me look at Toku or Braybox. Go with a red and 2 purple.
Jeez. Okay. Well, that's That's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Everything's good. We're fine. Everything's fine.
How are you?
How are you? All right. A red and 2 purple, you said. All right.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, that actually works out all right. That is 1 success and one success and 1 threat.
Okay. Perfect. All right, and then so what is
So the price that the credits we discussed via Hollow, the credits, it's a little steep for us at the moment. At the moment, we are working on building out our clientele base for the shipping and cargo. We've been doing a lot of runs here and there. We've been making some decent money, but not as steady as I would like. But we kind of have to have a base of operations to really get our name out there and have that presence. So I'm really hoping that maybe Brayback, you can work with the Crowd's Fang, with Kazi, with me, Captain Kazi, to bring that price down a little bit for us. Let's make this a good deal for both of us, right?
the two heads turn and kind of give each other a little sideways glance?
I kind of like him. He's spunky.
The Brayback says, well, I'm sure we can work that out, but tell me a little bit more about you. How long have you been in the cargo running business? What got you into it? What fun have you had doing cargo runs?
Well, we've had a number of interesting and profitable runs in the past. We've run ship parts. We ran ship parts for the former Republic. Before things went south. We've done a number of jobs for the Empire. In the meantime, mostly small cargo deliveries, resources, parts. We've run rations out for a number of their planets. We've done some small runs. Well, I mean, I don't want to bore you with all the details. Needless to say that we do our best to keep busy, deliver our cargo on time, and ask very few questions.
Excellent. It's wise to know when to ask the right questions with your cargo. I understand that. I don't want to get in trouble with anybody.
I found that it's best when dealing with the Empire to ask as few questions as possible. Lots of nods and smiles. They don't really like me, Duro, that much. So
That's
I'm lucky to get to work.
understandable. So tell me a little bit about your long-term plans. Like, do you have a 5-year plan for where you want the ship to be and what your business is going to be?
Oh no, yeah. So what we're doing really is we're going to establish a good base of operations for the sector, and then we're going to start really kind of pushing hard on our brand on the galaxy-wide shipping. We're still coming up with it. We're still workshopping a name for the organization. At the moment, it's been a lot of onesie twosie work, but I tried to push Kazi Incorporated. The rest of the crew wasn't really a big fan of that, so we're still workshopping a name.
Very well.
But once we have a place to operate from, like this wonderful establishment here, once we get our gear here and get things set up, I think we'd be able to do some good work. Maybe within 5 years, have a couple more ships under our banner. Expand outside this sector. Really give Galactic Express what for.
Okay, that makes sense. So tell me a little bit about your crew. What are some of their strengths?
Well, I think honestly, it's probably best that you talk to them. I don't want to speak out of turn about anybody. The crew is wonderful. We've flown together for quite some time now.
How long have you been together?
Our three, we've been together for, geez, I think it's been 5 cycles.
Okay.
6 cycles. You know, it's a time flies when you enjoy the people you travel with. You know, it could be longer. My memory's not great.
Well, how did you all meet?
Oh, that's a great story. We all came together on a particular job. We all were kind of bidding for the same work, and then they put us all together on a team to work together to do the job. And then after the job was finished, we completed the job. We all got paid. We decided that we all worked well together and decided to kind of make a go of it. I had a ship, so we just used my ship.
Very well. So, since you're the captain,
Mm-hmm. Captain Kazi. Yeah, that's me.
yes, I remember the name. And every good captain, just like we do with business, needs to know where not to use our staff. So tell me, where would you not use your staff? What situations would you not put them in?
What work couldn't we do? Is that what you're saying? Or just
Oh,
my
what-
staff, or just the people on my ship?
Let's say your droid R5D3.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of his weaknesses? Where would we not want him to be? What
Oh,
type
no,
of jobs are bad for him?
I definitely would not send him into a casino. R3's had a little bit of a gambling problem in the past. I'm probably talking. You know what? I forget if we could scratch that part.
Okay.
There's nothing I wouldn't let my crew do. They're all extremely talented, and I trust them implicitly.
Ah, very well, very well. Is there any place you wouldn't want to take them?
On any place. I'm at places. We've seen a lot of ice planets. I'm kind of done with them.
Okay, fair
A lot
enough.
of bad memories on ice planets, and I don't really like being cold that much. So I wouldn't take them to an ice planet.
Oh, all right. Well, if you don't mind, feel free. Here is the contract,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you get a data pad handed over to you. I have adjusted a couple of the numbers. Why don't you go ahead and look over those numbers? And I think we're going to go talk to your droid, the R5D3.
Sure, that sounds fine. That's fine.
All right. And we see Wolrock heading down the same hallway. When you look at the data pad,
Mhm.
you were successful in slightly lowering the rate.
Ooh.
Excuse me. But your first payment is now due a little earlier than you thought. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
This is going to be a thing now, right? Where the chat is going to give us ideas for threats. I see how this goes.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's okay.
well,
I'm
that
okay
seems
with it.
that seems on
Yeah,
brand.
Let's do that. Let's just make that a thing.
And so we cut over and we see Wolrock walking down. The Braybach looks over at Toku. So far, I think we might have our crew.
I mean, I think they can do the job. The ship's a little shoddy, but I mean, they seem capable. I mean, this is a pretty simple job.
That's true. We just have to make sure that they come up with better names. The captain can't even remember the droid's name. He keeps saying R3 when it's R5 is what he originally announced. But I think
I mean,
we can work with that.
he told us his name was Tazi when he introduced himself. I mean, he's not.
Well, I think we can work with it. But let's see. How's this? I'll let you take the lead talking to the droid. See if maybe you can get some better information out of him.
He said the droid's name was R5, right?
Yes, R5D3.
Okay, R5.
Yes.
Got it. R5D3. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
I'll take
And
this one.
We
I'm very good with droids.
Yeah, that's why I asked you to do it. Anyway, but they find A1 has found himself a top bedroom, it looks like, and he's currently on top of a desk that's groaning under his weight as he's looking out this stained glass window that is what probably was a really nice blue, but now is this faded multicolors blue as the stained glass has changed color throughout the years.
Oh, R5. R5. Do you prefer R5 or D3?
He turns around, and as he turns around, I'm just going to roll a random die. The table he's on just cracks and breaks, and he uses his jets and falls down. I usually just D3 is fine.
Oh, don't worry about the desk. That's model furniture. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant for for this type of activity. Trust me, I've tried out number of the model furniture pieces. If you get my drift.
Nope. I mean, if you want to stand on one and look out the window, I'll let you.
No, stand. No. So D3. D3.
Yes.
What if you had to answer a couple of questions that I'm going to ask you, which you probably should since this is really an interview. What do you feel is your greatest strength as an astromech droid?
Probably my wheels. I've pushed a lot of things around. Maybe my jets, because they push me pretty far too. Definitely not my dome. It broke multiple times.
But if you had to choose between your wheels or jets,
I'd say jets. One time I actually saved Tazi. He fell out of a speeder, and I caught him midair, and my jets were just strong enough to keep him from landing hard on the ground.
Wait, you caught who?
Kazi, the captain.
Yes, Captain Kazi. Yes, you're right. You're right. So he was falling out of a speeder. What? Can you tell me about that? What happened?
Well, his equilibrium didn't work right, and gravity took over. And
you don't have to droid explain falling for me. I understand how that works. So tell me what you were doing in the speeder to begin with.
Well, I was just riding. He was hydrating.
Hydrating.
Yes.
He was drinking.
Healthy. Yes. And he fell.
So he was drinking and driving a speeder.
Well, technically, the driver was driving because we were on Coruscant, so we don't have our own speeder.
Oh, yes, Coruscant. I've been there a number of times. I totally understand. So Captain Kazi was inebriated and almost fell out of the speeder. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes. Captain Kazi was on vacation and fell out of a speeder.
Oh, vacation. You didn't mention that. I assumed that this was in the course of one of your jobs.
Oh, no. Captain Kazi would never drink on the job.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that Captain Kazi is a responsible drinker.
I'm going to have to make A1 make a deception check there.
I like how we don't even remember what our names actually are, even when we know what our names are. Are we using our aliases? Are we using our real names? Are our real names aliases? I don't know.
Nice. So one success, one advantage. And 1 to spare.
Oh,
So,
yikes. Chris, as the GM and the player, what are you going to do with that to spare?
that's a good question. He did successfully bluff him, so he believes the story.
But
Okay. I'll roll it into it. What I'll do is I'll upgrade the difficulty of the next person's die roll too on any kind of social check.
great. Kaylee, congratulations.
If I don't say anything, I can't roll.
Yeah. He goes, yeah. Any other questions? I mean,
Yes. Tell me about your last job. What was the last thing the crew of the Kralitz Fang did to earn money?
oh, it was this just bad job. It was supposed to be. We thought it was food. We get there, it's these silly little bobbly headed owls that just, it wasn't good. And then we got there, it was in the wrong planet. That's what we get for working with bad contacts. We did what we were supposed to do, but the contacts just were bad. They had everything mixed up.
But did you complete the job?
Of course. Yes.
Wonderful. Even through hardship, the
Yes,
work was done.
Yeah, it unfortunately cost us more in fuel because we had to go to a different planet once we figured out wrong planet. So then we went to the other planet. So we didn't make as much as we should have. But again, that's on the contact because he should have had more. But when we went back to find him, he wasn't breathing any longer.
And if I may ask one more question, D3, what were you looking at out the window there?
I was just looking at any potential paths that people could come up to see us. So that way, when we throw parties to, wine and dine potential clients, we will know what direction they're coming from so we can make the fanfare better.
Great idea. Great. I think I've taken enough of your time. R3, R5,
R5.
D3.
Yes. And Captain Kazi.
Yes. And what was the name of your other crew member?
Slicer?
No, the other one.
Quinth.
Quinth, yes. Can you tell me what direction Quinth is in? I think Brayback wants to speak to Quinth.
You see the other head nod, yes. From here, probably slightly northwest.
Oh, that's right. We left Quinth back in the heart of the complex, the computing, the electronics center, the processing area. Yes. We'll go see Quinth. Thank you for your time. R5.
Thank you, Toku. And then A1 just starts rolling around the room. You see him tapping on the walls with his little fingers. And then we follow Wolrock out as they're heading towards... It's like they're heading towards Quinth / Karrell.
I know what my fake name is. You don't have to Chris-splain it.
And Braybach looks over at Toku. Well, at least that one seems to have his story straight. Probably easier that he's a droid and he can commit it to memory. Literally in his memory.
Well, again, I didn't think I would, catch him in a lie per se, but at least he seems to have his processing unit together.
Yes, I think I might like that. Well, I think I might like him.
He does seem to have a good dome on his shoulders. Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, I see we're here. We see them walk in. Excuse me. Tenth, was it?
Yes.
Yes. Are you finding everything in order?
If by in order you mean barely working, sometimes cobbled together with leftover parts from the Old Republic, yes, I am finding everything in order.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am a Twi'lek.
Oh, well, that I can see. I meant more, well, how shall I say it? Tell me more about what you do on the ship and your role with them.
I fix the ship when it breaks, which is quite a lot lately.
Yes, I noticed there were some loose plates on the side of the ship.
There are also some missing and mismatched plates. There are also an entire missing, what do we call it, escape pod that someone might have sold.
Oh, and how do you feel about that?
This was the captain's decision. Captain Tazi is in charge of the ship.
Yes. Yes. He is an interesting fella.
Yes, our Captain Tazi is definitely an interesting and is a fella.
Right, yes. What would you say are his biggest strengths?
He is a wonderful pilot, a shrewd negotiator, and a good friend.
Yes. And his weaknesses?
Alcohol. When he is not on a job, alcohol is very much his weakness.
And what about your droids? Tell me.
No,
what
they
did their
don't drink.
role- Well, I would hope not. That would be awkward. But tell me about them. What are their strengths? What are they used for on this ship?
Well, the astromech is used for plotting courses, and the other droid is used for slicing things, hence his name.
And what types of things does he slice well?
You know, different systems, people sometimes.
So he's the muscle.
You could say that, yes. He is very foreboding.
Gotcha. All right. Well, what are some of the ship's or your crew's goals? What do you want to do? What are we thinking about doing in 5 years? Is this going to be an empire of cargo runnings or still barely hanging on?
I certainly hope that it will be a successful venture led by the best captain in the galaxy, Captain Tazi. I will defer to his business acumen.
Excellent. I see he has, shall I say, prepared you for this conversation?
No, not really.
Well,
I did not
When
know
you're
you were
ready to
going to
give
be
me an
interviewed
answer
like
that
a
doesn't sound like
job.
you're-
Like a job interview. I just figured you were going to come in here and try and find things that I found wrong and try and talk me out of them so you could negotiate the price upwards. I don't do that part of it. That is all Captain
Oh.
Tazi.
the captain already has a rental agreement in front of him.
Wait, he's
I just
signing
have
it
to
right now?
Agree to it, and he does. Oh, it's possible he is looking over the numbers.
Well, I need to give him some of this data
But you-
before he makes a decision.
Well, if that's what you feel.
Well, yes. I mean, if you look at the main conduit here, it is half severed. There have been womp rats chewing on it. I'm surprised it hasn't caught fire
Well,
yet.
Oh, the fire suppression system here is still online.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Well, it should. It's up to code.
What code?
The building codes that all planets have to follow within the Empire.
Okay, so when was the last time the fire suppression system was purged?
Oh, all of those records are on the rental agreement. I believe it was last week.
Karrell kind of relaxes a little bit. Huh. Well, very good then. Everything appears to be in order. I will inform the captain as such. So, where do you think we fit in as renters, as tenants?
Well, this is a big building, so I think you'll have plenty of space to do whatever you'd like to do. And as long as you pay on time and don't give me any hassles, I think you'll be perfect tenants.
What do you consider to be hassles?
If I have to chase you down for money, or if you do any unnecessary damage to the building, then those are hassles I have to deal with.
When
Anything
you
beyond normal wear and tear.
when you say unnecessary damage, if we are going to need to effect repairs to this place, which will require some more damage to be done, that would be considered necessary damage, would it not?
Correct.
Very well.
We'll have to work that out as we go. I would say any repairs, you just send me a quick message. We'll look it over and then we'll approve it real quick.
Okay. Obviously, that seems completely agreeable, because the captain would like me to agree to it. Having to have somebody else oversee the repairs that I need to do seems very logical. And not at all, ironic.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to what you're doing.
I need to go
And if
find the
you'd like-
captain, actually, so I will leave you to whatever you were doing. Where did you leave Captain Ghazi?
I believe Captain Kazi is in the dining area.
That's not how you pronounce his name.
Probably making.
It's Captain Kazi.
Kazi?
No, it's Kazi.
Correct.
Hey, but
Kazi.
you're saying
That's what I
Kazi?
said.
There's no question there. It's Kazi.
Correct.
Thanks.
Probably making a drink.
Oh, Kirk.
You're welcome. You could have one yourself. He has a whole bottle.
No, thank you. I am working right now.
All right.
And Karrell kind of walks off down the hall.
I see Bulrock is heading down a different hallway. Raybach looks over at Toku. Well, that one did nothing but read off whatever answers he was told to give, or she was told to give.
I mean, we can't be too horribly surprised. She did seem to be the most prepared of the bunch.
Also the most nervous. Interesting. Well, I'll let you take the lead talking to the last droid. Sounds like, from what they're saying, he may not talk much, but we'll find out.
See. I bet I can get him to chatter a bit.
All right. And they walk down the hallway and they find Slicer / D4 has found a nice room in the back, and he seems to be moving tables around. He's got 3 tables lined up in the middle of the room, very organized, and he's moved all the chairs out of the room, and he's got a few tables put up in the corners.
Oh, Slicer, is it? Well, what are you doing in here?
I am organizing the room to my liking.
Well, the lease isn't signed yet.
Oh. I thought that the captain was working on that with you.
Oh,
My apologies.
we've been discussing things, but typically you don't go into a domicile and start changing the layout when you aren't tenants yet.
I apologize. It has been several years since I have moved into a new domicile.
When was the last time you moved into a new place, Slicer?
I believe it was probably close to 50, maybe 60 cycles ago.
It's quite a long time.
Yes, I was there quite a long time.
And what were you doing?
Research?
What kind of research, Slicer?
Type of research my master was asking me to do.
Who
Which
was
I
your
no longer
master at the
have one of
time?
those. Darth Plagueis.
Excuse me?
Darth Plagueis. He is dead.
You went from working for a Sith Lord to working for the crew, Captain Tazi. Seems like a downgrade.
For a moment, D4 stops. He turns his head to side.
I am just pulling your leg and showing you how good I am at a cover story. Of course, a droid as myself could never go from working from such a powerful being to working here with such inadequate equipment. And
Are we? Tell me we're making
Moving
D4
tables.
do a deception check.
that's what I was getting to.
Oh
This
boy.
could be good, 'cause that is definitely not one of his specialties.
Darth Plagueis.
And I got the upgrade from the one earlier. So actually 1 success, but 3 threats. He looks around such.
Chris, you still have the voice changer on.
I see that.
Darth Plagueis. That's a pretty good one, Slicer. You had me fooled there for just a hot second. It's a nanosecond.
Yes.
I almost believed you.
Oh, that is one of my talents.
What are some of your other talents?
I am good at understanding where on a person's body to make incisions, hence my name, Slicer.
Do you find yourself making a lot of incisions, Slicer?
Yes. Especially when the crew needs me to.
Interesting. Are you the medical droid for the crew, Slicer?
I have been known to help them in that avenue.
That's interesting. Does this crew require a lot of medical attention?
Sometimes it's almost as if what you might call fate likes to slap us every now and then, I believe is the term.
Well, they're not the only ones. Fate slaps us all around now and then. Slicer, what's the
Yes.
worst injury the crew has received?
I believe our captain was once shot so many times he was near the brink of death. Luckily, I was there to inject him with the proper chemicals to keep his heart pumping.
How did the captain find himself nearly shot to death?
He is not good enough at dodging the other people's blaster shots.
Oh, there's that keen sense of humor, Slicer. Wonderful. Look, I'll let you get back to whatever arrangement you were doing. I'm sure the captain's filling the paperwork. Feel free. Change the layout of the room however you wish. Don't make any cosmetic changes if you don't mind, but just feel free to move the model furniture around as much as you'd like.
Very well. Thank you.
D4 goes back to moving some things around. And we see Wolrock heading back towards the dining hall.
Well, that was interesting. Darth Plagueis.
Yes, that's a interesting story. I would like to.
That droid's got a sense of humor. That threw me for a loop there.
I agree, but I do think this is the crew we need.
I agree. Let's get them on board.
Very well. I think perhaps I should take the lead on this. Or would you like to take the lead and then I could come in with the big slap of reality?
No, you know, Braybach, the more I think about this, this is really your pet project. I
Very
mean,
well.
we could have hired anybody to do this, but you really wanted to find the perfect crew. So why don't you handle it? I'm gonna watch a trid
well.
over here, a little video. Yes.
All right. I very well. Very well.
Just let me know if you need me.
I will. And they-
And then like the hand that I believe it's the left hand.
Mhm.
The left hand holds up a data pad with a hollow coming on. Looks like a hollow drama about life in a medical unit.
Yes.
Then there's a quick advertisement to Coruscant's Got Talent.
For sure.
Right. We see Wolrock come into the dining room. Tazi's there. I'm assuming Karrell is still there as you guys are looking over the data.
Yeah,
pad.
Karrell's showing like the amount of old wiring that's there and all the work that's going to have to go into getting the systems online. The fact that the power distribution center isn't powerful enough to recharge the Fang's batteries, so we're going to have to supplement those. That the fact that the fire suppression system, because it's part of building code, was just purged a week ago, the plumbing hasn't been purged in about 15 years because they only have to do it every 20 years. So there's probably some problems there also. And it's like, I mean, Tazi, I don't know. It's just going to be a lot of work. Are you sure we want to like tie ourselves to this?
I mean, it's a lease. We're not buying it, right?
I mean, I
We're
guess.
not buying it outright.
Well, are
Can't
you
afford to buy it outright?
right? Are you thinking of like rent to own type thing?
I've been thinking rent to rent at the moment.
Okay, all right. Well, here they come. It's all yours. If you need to be anybody to be the bad trooper, you let me know.
So, tell me. What do you think?
Well, you know, Quinth was going over the systems, and we found a lot of things that require some pretty heavy work.
Yes, yeah. That's why the price is as low as it is.
Is there anything else we can do about? Can we do anything else with the price here?
I think we both know that that is very fair. And I think that in your situation, maybe this is the best deal you're going to find.
Wait, what's our situation?
Well,
What are you trying to say, Braybach?
well, Captain Tazi.
It's
Since I
Kazi.
know.
No, I told you, Tazi's that's a different person. I'm Kazi.
Yes, and this is Quinth, or shall I just call you Karrell?
Karrell's hand very slowly drifts towards her blaster.
Oh,
Like,
neat.
Hold on.
like not being threatening, but there's definitely she's on edge.
It is our job to know exactly who we're going to get in business with. So we did our research before you got here. I am very interested in working with you. Perhaps we could work on you doing some runs for us. We will pay you minus the cost of rent for here.
Mm-hmm.
You can also do some work around here, which we could help supplement some of the costs by some of the repairs you do. And we keep each other's secrets secret. And when I say this cargo run is no questions asked, you ask no questions.
I am open to talking a bit more about this.
There are some
Let
things
me-
that theoretically we will not do, however.
Very well.
Yeah. I mean, Quint is right. Karrell
Well.
is right.
Very well.
We won't trade in slaves. We don't do slave trading. We don't do anything to do with slaves. You can count us out.
Unless you want them freed. That's completely
Yeah.
within our purview.
Yeah, for sure. We'll free slaves. But we won't transport slaves. We won't sell them. We won't.
Luckily for both of us, we don't deal in that area. That is not in our business model, nor is it in our ethical beliefs.
Very well.
Yeah, we do believe in, doing what we have to do to survive and grow, and we don't always worry about somebody else's rules.
Got it. And how much will this reduce our payments?
Well, let's say I have a little mission for you to go on. I have some cargo that I need to offload from here. And if you do the run successfully, we will sit down and talk about a long-term plan. But for now, it will cover your costs plus get some repairs done on your ship. Boy, let's be honest, you need them.
And some supplies. Let's throw in some supplies.
Yes, as I said, your cost of doing the mission.
Very well.
So fuel, food, some water will get your ship cleaned up a little bit.
The ship's clean. It's just
All right,
in disrepair.
Can we take a moment to kind of have a huddle over here and we'll talk about it briefly?
Sure.
Where the fuck is that?
I mean, if you guys want to just step over there and watch, what are you watching? General Anesthesia? Yeah, I mean, that's a very popular show. I mean, we'll be with you in just a moment.
It's very gripping.
Oh, yes.
Which season are you watching?
14.
Ah, that's the one. Oh, have you gotten to the point where, like, Captain Dreamy has his problem?
No, the one I just watched, they pulled a Dianoga out of someone's nethers.
Ah, okay, I remember that. Oh, get some hankies for 2 episodes from now. It's a tearjerker.
Did you hear that, Braybach? We need hankies.
You're going to cry.
Let's go over here. Let them have their huddle, their moment alone.
It's huddle, not huttle. It has nothing to do with the huts.
They walk over.
They pronounce
the
things
other
weird,
side of the
Tazi. Are you entertaining this? I mean,
we need a place to stay. It's a decent deal.
they are willing to abide by our ethical restrictions, I guess.
And it's work. We'll have a place to live. We'll have some work.
We'll get some food and some repairs.
Get the ship fixed.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
TETH
TETH wasn't my first choice for a place to settle, but it is what it is.
It's better than Tula. I'm just a little worried that they found out so much about us so easily. There are bounties out for both of us.
But they didn't turn us in, so they need us.
Until
as long as
they don't need us.
That means we make ourselves valuable. More valuable than the bounties.
All right. We voted you captain, so I'm going to trust your experience on this one.
Look, at this point, if we say no, if we decline,
we aren't leaving the planet at all.
We're not leaving the planet at all. You're absolutely right. They'll turn us in for the bounty, and that'll be that. And the thing barely made it to the planet. I don't know if we'll make it off without repair.
I'm doing my best, Tazi. You know I am.
That's not a judgment statement. That's just a statement of fact.
All right. Well, let's do it. Maybe this is a new chapter for us. You know, a fresh start.
Guess we'll cross that particular chasm when we come to it, right?
Well, hopefully not falling into it like the last chasm we encountered.
Well, you know, if they had railings on those walkways, we'd be fine.
Well, yeah, it's definitely some like violations of code, definitely.
For sure. Okay. So, all right. So I'm gonna tell them we're gonna do it.
All right. Agreed.
A1, D4. You guys are.
They
fine with it?
haven't gotten back here yet. You want me to call them over?
Well, no. Let me just. Tazi kind of turns over and flips on his comm. Hey guys, we're gonna take the place. Is that fine?
Sure.
That is acceptable.
All right. We have to do some work for them, but we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Click.
I guess that's it.
Note to self: get some comm sound effects for the next stream. Got it.
Yeah, I don't have a...
I got to work on that.
That's all right.
Yep.
That's all right. So Tazi will kind of like put his hand in the air and wave.
Like you just
Brava
don't care.
And Toku back over.
They walk over. Yes. Well, what is the decision?
So we've come to an agreement that we all agree that this is a good deal for all of us. So you have the crew of the Kralitz Fang. Let's shake on it.
Oh, excellent. And holds out the right upper hand, shakes your hand,
Mm-hmm.
then steps back, pulls out a comm. You hear the comm pop open. Everything is good. That ship, it can stay intact. Thank you. Click.
Intact.
Yes. Well, if I was going to reveal who we are, couldn't let you leave and reveal who we are.
Who are you?
So now we're... Yes. So now that we are in business together, here are the coordinates for the pickup of the shipment to leave TETH. It will be going to B2 or Biatu. Biitu. Yeah, however you say it. You know, my dyslexia kicked in me right there on that one. Yep. So we'll have you take it there and drop it off.
That's it.
Simple run.
Just drop it off cargo.
Yep. Just drop it off. No questions asked.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
That's part of the deal. No questions asked. All right. We're gonna need the ship refueled.
Already been done.
And the two of the right thrusters are a little out of alignment.
It's a good thing you have a good mechanic on board.
A mechanic who needs some parts if we're going to be at our optimal, shippingness.
Well, I will send over some things, but first let's get this mission done. Perhaps you could find some things here that you could use. You know, a good mechanic can repurpose things.
That's a
when
really good
you hear-
idea.
Yeah.
And Karrell
From the
wanders
corner,
out of the room.
Yeah. As Karrell's walking out, you know, hey, I like to do that. And then he rolls up to Tazi. So, we're staying here now?
Oh yeah, everybody looks like we are officially back in business.
Yay. So, Captain Kazi, you negotiated successfully with him.
We can drop the names. They know who we are.
Wait, what?
They know you're A1. They know Slicer's D4. They know Quinth is Karrell. They know Kazi is Tazi.
Oh. Well, that was easy for you to give that up.
What do you mean?
Wow. I'll ask later.
What did I give up? What do you mean?
Well, how else would they know?
They knew. They knew. They called us out in the negotiations.
Ah, got it. So this was one of those test things to see. Yeah. All right. So we can take whatever we want from here to fix the ship.
Apparently.
Yeah, help yourself. And then fix up the castle however you would like. A1 rolls out of the room rather quickly. All right. I'm going to go have fun. Out he goes. And Braybach holds out the data pad to Tazi. Well, just sign here.
And Tazi looks over at Karrell,
Who is not in the room.
realizes that Karrell's not in the room. Looks to his left, and it looks like D4 and A1 have also left.
Yep.
And away we go. And Tazi signs on the dotted line.
Excellent. And Braybach turns and looks at Toku. Well, shall we go get some refreshments at our favorite establishment?
Certainly. I believe our business here is complete.
Yes, yes. Successful.
Let's be off. This place is musty, and I'm not a big fan.
Well, that makes two of us. And they walk out the front door.
Ta!
Karrell walks in just like 30 seconds after they do, and she's got a piece of mechanical equipment about the yay big, and she's got it tucked in one arm. And she's just kind of whistling happily. Everything go okay?
I mean, yeah, it's ours.
Cool.
We have a home.
And I've got a new replacement bivalve for our left thruster. It's
Wonderful.
almost brand new. They're gonna have a little trouble getting home though, but as long as they don't turn right too often, they'll be fine. He said I could scavenge anything I could find because a good mechanic can always find things.
Karrell, let's pretend you didn't tell me anything about it. And
I found it
go
on the
ahead.
ground outside
yeah, go ahead and install that on the ship.
when we get back, because now we don't have a way to get back because they left with a speeder. We're gonna have to call a Stellar Uber.
I'll make the call.
And I think that's where we're going to end for tonight.
I believe so.
Hey, for everybody, we had like 10 or 12 people in our first stream, which I'm very excited about. I appreciate all of you guys coming out. I want to thank all of our Patreons who hung with us since the last season of Redemption ended. We told you we were going to come back. We did come back. Here we are. I feel this went really well, and I hope it's going to get better and better every single time. We hope you guys come back in 2 weeks when we do Smuggler's Blues Episode 2, and you'll hear more about what kind of deal, good or bad, that the crew gets into. I am Kaylee, and you can find me on the internet at Anime Girl and here on Smuggler's Blues. Michael, where can people find you on the internet?
Hey, you can find me at LoserMLW on almost all the socials. You can hear me on the show Dragon Age, A Tale of Masks and Daggers. Excuse me, A Time of Masks and Daggers on Wednesday night. So tomorrow night, tomorrow is Tuesday. So Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on Rook and Rasp's Twitch channel. You can also find me on the show Tubular Teens with Titans, which is a Power Rangers inspired audio drama. It's a lot of fun. I play a character named Pan Vahan, and we are just starting season 2. So again, that's Tubular Teens with Titans on your podcatchers. Chris?
Well, actually, before Chris goes, I need to fix something that both of us forgotten, which is very shameful. that
Yes.
on the opposite weeks of Smuggler's Blues, you can find both Michael and I over on Chaos Incorporated on the Identico Twitch channel. Also, you can find us at YouTube/Identico. I believe we just wrapped up season 2, and we'll be back.
We did.
We'll be back for season 3 later this year. We'll be doing some miscellaneous stuff in between, but you can find us over there. 2 very fun seasons. Chris,
And Chris.
your mic, you've gone, you can't speak anymore. Oh my God, the GMing, it was too much. We lost Chris's voice.
That should be it now.
There
Sorry,
you
I had it
go.
on-
There we go.
I have to turn mute off. Find me
That
on
helps.
Twitter, Burlu_Chris. You can also find me on the RPG Academy's Discord channel and the Redemption Discord channel. Find me on the RPG Academy every other Wednesday, starting this Wednesday. Well, continuing this Wednesday with Detention with Michael and several other one-shots that we do through the RPG Academy. And otherwise, I'll jump on any podcast that people ask me to be on. I just love talking to people and having fun with games. So if anybody that I know wants to have me come on and play games, I'll play games with you.
All right.
Wonderful.
Again, we want to thank everybody, especially our Patreons again. I'm going to call out a very specific Patreon here because, shine a spotlight. As you've been seeing, we have a chat window in here in the stream, and Kevin's been very active in the Discord and here in the chat. So we want to poke fingers at Kevin as one of our finest Patreon folk and thank him very specifically for coming out tonight. All of our Patreons mean a lot to us, but Kevin, it really means a lot that you were here tonight and got to hang out with us. So thank you very much. And,
Thank you, Kevin.
and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a good night.
Bye. Awkward wave.
Awkward wave.
Kaylee says we're clear.